they got a really good team, and they've been in all of their games that they played. And so they've got a definite spark. They got a definite drive upon themselves. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I see.
Yeah, they got a spark. That's Jalen Hurts talking about the Giants, who beat the Eagles 34-17 2 weeks ago. Welcome to a players-only edition of Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota. I'm Barrett Brooks. This is Jason Avant. Jason, do you think, there's a little bit of get back going into this game, man?
100%. The Eagles were embarrassed. They were bullied, and now it's time for the Eagles to bully the bully. And I think that Jalen Hurts and the offense is going to step up to the table, and also the defense got to tackle better.
We got
to going down this game.
Ooh, exactly, man. But time for our three-point stance, presented by Toyota, and we're joined by another player, Brian Baldinger. How are you, Baldy?
Jason, good to be with you guys. I mean, I saw that game last weekend like everybody else, and I would call the game for national radio. So I saw that offense open up, and, for the first time, the receivers really, put their will out there against the Vikings. It was the difference in the game.
Well, yeah, I know you were out there and you called the game on radio, but, hey, would you say that was a statement game for the Eagles against Minnesota?
I don't think it was a full statement because the running game still lacks, Barrett. But I thought as far as, okay, this is how you throw it against a challenging defense. They got to the play action game. They got Jalen under center, some deep sets. And you got to do that in this league. You got to take your play action shots. You got to max it up a little bit. And I thought they did that, especially on the 79-yarder to Devontae. It paid off. And I think Jalen's been a little reticent to get under center and do some of that play action. Here he is with Toth right now. But I thought it was the difference in the game, and I thought they got good protection and allowed the receivers to get down the field for some of the big shots.
Absolutely, man. I mean, what do you think, Jay?
Well, so when it comes to that game, I thought one of the bigger differences in the game was the Eagles' run defense. We saw Nakobe Dean implement into the game plan, and you can see the difference in him and how fast he was able to trigger when it came to run defense, and also how he was able to recognize the route concept. So I think that Nakobe Dean was a big impact player for us in that ball game. Also, you saw Brian Flores' number 2 rated pass defense and how Jalen Hurts destroyed them.
Right.
Also, Kevin Patullo with some timely calls. Jalen Hurts had the ability to check to A.J. Brown's second touchdown, Devontae Smith on the sideline, check to his own touchdown, and then you see Kevin Patullo with the slant and go to seal the game. So I thought those were some takeaways that I enjoyed.
Absolutely, and I just think, from an overall stance, that first drive really set the tone of the game. They ran the ball 8 times, and they went down and scored. And just like we were talking earlier, Baldy, they did fall asleep for a little bit, but when they woke back up, the passing game kicked into effect. Maybe this needs to be a pass first to open up the offense. I'm thinking, teams, before were playing us in this, single high safety, loading up the box. With those 2 guys on the outside, maybe they got to change how they do things. Maybe they got to go back in that deep cover 2. That'll open up the run game for us. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But, hey.
And offensive lineman talking about opening it up. I love to hear it.
Well, hey, we'll continue with our second point. Number 2, this will be, for the Giants, it'll be a payback on Sunday. We've got to make sure it happens. The Eagles lost to the Giants by 17 points a week ago. Baldy, do you expect a different result in this rematch?
Totally. I mean, I can't imagine the Eagles defense giving up 5 touchdowns like they did, against the Giants, led by 2 rookies in Jackson Dart, and Cam Scatterbu, who played very good in the game. But they gave up 5 touchdowns, and then they went to sleep in the second half. They turned the ball over. They didn't run the ball well. And really, I mean, Jason, you mentioned it. They got bullied on both sides of the ball. Now, there's a lot of differences this week. Jalen Carter is back. We're going to see BG out there on the edge. But I would think that the Eagles offense, needs to, tell the Giants just who the big dog in this division is. And let them know, let them feel their punch a little bit. So I feel like this is going to be not just a payback and but a true revenge game, and a game where you assert dominance in the division and get your second win in a row before the bye week, and then get ready to make your run.
What are you seeing, Jay, when you look at it? How are you looking at this game? What are they going to do to really impose their will?
Well, it's a mindset game to me. I think it's one of those games where you have to show them that you are the bully, and you have to be willing to tackle. And that's the thing that the Eagles did not do well. It seems like guys were disinterested in tackling. The Giants offense were able to rush for 4 touchdowns and 156 yards between Scatterboo and Dart. We have to just stymie that run game. But also, when it comes to turnovers and third down for the Eagles offense, the last 3 games, 1 for 9 against the Giants, 3 for 10 against the Vikings, 2 for 11 against the Broncos, have to do much better on third down.
Well, absolutely. And then, just hearing the name Scatterboo really makes me mad, you know what I'm saying? Because he was out there laughing. Him and Dart were out there laughing. They're just having a grand old time against our team. And that's what really pissed me off. I'm still mad. I still think about how they were joking, having fun. They doing flips on us, and then Scatterboo just running straight through everybody. So, I think it's a problem with them thinking that they can go out there and bully us like that. But, hey, we didn't do anything about it, so we got to make sure we go out there and make it happen this game. I was truly disgusted, man, on how, they looked at us. Come on, man. This is the Eagles. This is the best team in the division. And they showed us what we needed to see, that we aren't as good as we think we are, and we have to go out there and apply ourselves like we did in the past. One game at a time, one play at a time, one series at a time. That's the only way this Eagles stand a chance of being a good team, man. So, they got to get back to basics. That's what I'm thinking, Boy, well, stance number 3. BG's back. It's the big story this week. Brandon Graham out of retirement and back with the Eagles on the defensive line. Baldy, be realistic, man. How much do you think BG can help us in the pass rush?
Well, they need a pass rusher, and that's why he's here. And, honestly, losing Nolan Smith, for the amount of time has hurt him. They haven't gotten, Zadarius Smith retired. Jalen Hunt, although he, got the game ball last week for the pick 6, has not been a big force off the edge. And you watch it, they're having to blitz in order to get pressure right now.
Yep.
And unless you can apply pressure with your front 4, it's going to put pressure on your backside right now, Barrett. So I feel like BG can help now. He has gone to training camp, hasn't had an off season. He had the torn tricep a couple times last year. He's got to be a little careful. But I got to believe he's going to give him a little juice off the edge. They need somebody that can push the pocket. He might not have to win the one-on-one against offensive tackles, but they need somebody that can collapse the pocket on the outside. We feel like Jordan and Jalen can do that on the inside, but you've got to make these quarterbacks uncomfortable. If you don't do that, every quarterback in this league is capable of carving the Eagles up right now if they don't apply better pressure. And I think that's a big reason why BG is here right now.
Well, you have to have him, Jay, do you think you don't have him on a pitch count? What do you think? Is it going to be, 10 reps, 15 plays? What do you think?
Well,
that's my guess right now. My guess right now, Barrett, is probably going to be between 10 and 15 plays, maybe on third downs. Jason was just talking about, third downs having trouble converting. They've had trouble getting off the field on third downs too. And so I can see like a third down rush specialization right now from Brandon. I don't see him out there on first down, taking on the run and taking on Scatterboo. But I can certainly see him coming off the edge on third downs right now.
Absolutely.
Well, let's think about what's transpired. In the last week's game, you saw Jahad Campbell on the edge and Nakobe Dean inside, right? So if we're willing to play a 230-pound linebacker on the edge, we are in dire straits for a defensive end. Josh Uche has the sack of last week, him and Ojomo, but it's not much production. Zadarius Smith had most of our production coming off the edge. I would think that a 75% of Brandon Graham last year would be our best defensive end, currently, as stated. So he plays the run really well, and he also rushes the passer. He also is an excellent teammate when it comes to stunts. That's what the Giants do against us on their defense, and I think Brandon can be the catalyst to get some of those stunts home. So I think it's very, very important for Brandon Graham this week.
Absolutely. He just come in. I just need to be in that locker room, be that spark plug, get them guys going, maybe talk a little bit. You know what I mean? But, hey, Brian, I really appreciate you, man. Baldy coming up once again strong for us. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us.
Barrett, Jason, my pleasure, man. Enjoy the game on Sunday, man. It should be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. You too, man. You too.
All right, Baldy.
Yeah.
All right, now. Well, it's time for the playbook presented by Supercuts. What's wrong with our running game? We'll discuss Saquon Barkley, slow start to the season. A.J. Brown misses practice again today. How concerned should we be? And Devontae Smith, the most underappreciated receiver in the NFL. That's all coming up on Birds Huddle continues.